Welcome to the Wrestling Replays. CATO here with your Wrestlemania Backlash pay-per-view replay. That was a tongue twister. But we did have a really good pay-per-view. It was a lot of matches that I enjoyed, some that I really didn't, as I'm sure you didn't as well. But let's go ahead and jump right into it, all right? Now, the Backlash pay-per-view kicked off with a triple threat for that Raw Women's Championship. It was Rhea Ripley defending her title against Charlotte Flair, who weaseled her way into this match, and Asuka, the former Raw Women's Champion. Now, this match was really good. It was really good, fast-paced, opening match. It's the type of match you wanted to see from these three women being a triple threat. No real issues here. No real issues, because what I believe is going to happen is the fact that we're going to get Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley and a nice feud going forward. Now, we already seen Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley get it on before for the NXT title. It's going to be the same thing, probably just turned up one more notch for that Raw Women's Championship. The only problem I have with this match is not necessarily with the match, but how they're treating Asuka, right? Let's remember, Asuka was one of the most feared women on the roster at one point in time. She was undefeated. No one was ready for Asuka. Now it's like Asuka has been the fall guy to propel Rhea Ripley into this, I guess, ultimate baby face that they're looking for. I don't know. But she's taken the pinfall from Asuka 3 weeks in a row, or 3 matches in a row now. So with her losing the match again as in the triple threat, it makes sense because, okay, you want to get the Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, but at the same time, you're making Asuka just look a little bit weaker than what Asuka really is. Now, I will say this. I like it if they do it right. If they do it right, meaning the way I want them to do it, is that we know weeks ago Alexa Bliss had her eye on a participant in a 3-on-3 tag team match, Asuka being one of those participants. I would love to see Alexa Bliss come out here and try to recruit Asuka. Not your typical way of, hey, come on, come with me. But Asuka can go on Monday Night Raw. She can lose another match. It don't matter who it's to. Asuka can get frustrated. Later on in the show, you can have an interview with Asuka saying, what do you think about this loss? What's going on? This is your 3rd loss and 4th loss in a row, or whatnot. And you can have Lily in the background just looking on, right? The next week in Raw, you can have Asuka lose another match and she's frustrated again. But this time, you can have Alexa Bliss just pop up on the stage, looking at Asuka. Everyone's kind of confused and don't really know what's going on. The next week, you can do this the same exact thing. Asuka lose again. Alexa Bliss come out and pretty much make it known, you're the one I got my eye on. I think it's time. And no one's going to know what that means, right? Well, we would, because we're, making up the whole storyline. But finally, that final week, that week 4, somehow, some way, you reunite Alexa Bliss and you reunite The Fiend, because that is The Fiend's source of power. I don't care if Alexa Bliss had to go to The Fiend saying, hey, I had to cut you off to make you even more powerful by yourself, so that you know how powerful that you are, so that when we come back together, we'll be even more powerful as a unit. Something like that, right? On this week 4, when she's got The Fiend with her, The Fiend's finally back. That next week, that's when you go to Asuka after the match. She loses another match. The lights go off in typical Fiend fashion. And when the lights pop back on, you got Alexa Bliss in one corner telling Asuka, it's time to join me. Asuka shakes her head no. And Alexa Bliss say, hey, I'm not asking. I'm telling you, you're joining me. Asuka goes to walk away. The Fiend hits her with the mandible claw, joins the dark side, kind of like Alexa Bliss. She didn't really get her powers until the Fiend put in the mandible claw. Now, that's just me thinking. How dope will Asuka look, though, when she's all black? Maybe like a little zombie-ish look. Instead of that regular coat or robe that she comes out in, a darker leather trench coat. You could change up the mask, a darker face paint around the eyes. She could bring back that black mist. That would be fire. I'm just saying, Asuka needs to be somebody who is really getting pushed. You should never be someone just propelling someone else to the next level, right? Because you don't have too many on your roster as it is to be using your top stars to do that. Rhea's already over. Charlotte's already over. You could have easily got to this Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley feud in a different fashion than by just pretty much selling out Asuka every step of the way. Now, with Asuka and the Fiend being back, they can just go ahead and just dominate the roster from bottom to top. The Fiend ultimately wanting to get back to the championship status, and of course Asuka ultimately wanting to get back at Rhea Ripley, who should be the champion at the time, because Rhea Ripley is the one, of course, who started this downward spiral in the first place. That was a long-winded opening match segment of how I think Asuka needs to be booked going forward, but it makes perfect sense. Hell, even you can have Alexa Bliss and Asuka going for the tag team titles if you want to do something like that and really slow roll her getting back at Rhea Ripley at some point in time. But Rhea Ripley did manage to retain her title. She did pin Asuka, hit her with the riptide, got the 1, 2, 3, and I think we will see a lot of Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair going forward with that feud. Now, that was a really great way to kick off the show with some really good action, really fast pace to really get you warmed up and heated up for what's going to happen next. Our next match, it was the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Dirty Dogs, versus the Mysterios. Only issue being the Dirty Dogs attacked Dominic before the match, leaving Rey Mysterio out there to fend for himself in a 2-on-1 situation. Now, I understand bringing Dominic in later on in the match. One, he's not the veteran. He probably would, his movesets would have been a little bit limited going into 2-on-1, but it would have made more sense to attack Rey Mysterio, seeing as though he's the stronger one of the tag team. You want to take off the strongest guy. That makes more sense. But I understand why WWE did that, because of the inexperience with Dominic Mysterio. Now, this was a really good match. Rey Mysterio managed to hold his own until Dominic was able to muster up the strength to leave the trainer's room and make his way to ringside for the hot tag. And hey, honestly, he did pretty good in this tag team match. I said before, I think Dominic Mysterio is best when he's in tag team and he can enter the ring in segments and spurts where he can really, display his ability. He could take some punishment and then he could sit out and, recoup and think about the next segment that he's going to be doing next. All right. But this was a really good matchup. I'm not surprised because, you got the veterans like the Dirty Dogs, you got Rey Mysterio, the Son, everything was there, the story was there. And of course, if you watched it, the history was made last night with Rey Mysterio and Dominic becoming the first father and son duo to ever become WWE Tag Team Champions. Now, Dominic also hit that nice sweet frog splash off the top rope. I'm pretty sure that was for Eddie, man. That was a beautiful frog splash. I can't deny the kid that. But I don't know how long this tag team will be able to hold on to them tag team titles. If the Usos get back on track, I don't see these guys getting past the Usos. The Street Profits, I don't see these guys getting past the Street Profits. Who's gonna really deal with Dawkins? That powerhouse, I don't think any of the Mysterios is gonna be able to hang as far as the power game goes. So you got two legit tag teams that's possibly creeping right down your neck. Not to mention, the Dirty Dogs is definitely going to want a rematch. And you still have the Alpha team, who has another really big powerhouse in the team, where I don't know if the Mysterio style is going to be able to stop someone like Otis. But we have to see going forward. But that was a really good follow-up match to the triple threat match that opened up the show. Now, we get to a match that has brought down the whole quality of this pay-per-view. I understand why you did it, because you wanted to, plug the movie. But come on, guys. Like, damn. You was off to a hot start. I mean, a really hot start. And then you have a Damian Priest and The Miz and a zombie lumberjack match. Like, come on, man. Come on. Of all the things you could have did for lumberjacks, you could have had vampires out there, Damian Priest, that's his style. You could have had guys who looked like The Miz. I don't know, anything, but this was horrible. The match wasn't good. At one point, you went out there and you beat up all the lumberjacks. If you can beat up all the lumberjacks, what's the use of having lumberjacks in the first place? Just beat them up and stay outside the ring. Or just have John Morrison come out there and beat them up. They let him interfere in the match and help The Miz win the match. Only good thing about this match is that I believe this feud is finally over. Now Damian Priest can go on and get on with whatever he needs to do on Raw, because he should be challenging someone like Sheamus for that United States title. He's not quite on the level of challenging Bobby Lashley yet, but he needs to be locked into a really good feud. The Miz was a good opponent to propel him to the next level or to wherever he's going to go from here. But Damian Priest, man, I hope this is the end of that feud. That's the only good thing that came out of this matchup, because other than that, the match was horrible. I mean, bad. Luckily, we had Bianca Belair defending her SmackDown Women's Championship versus Bayley to pick up the mood and pick up the crowd and the energy all inside the arena, because that was trash. Now, this was another really good match. This is the second match of Bianca Belair, well, second title match for Bianca Belair. Her match with Sasha Banks was amazing, absolutely amazing. This match with Bayley was much better than I thought it was going to actually be. It was really, really good. I didn't think they was going to come out here and, have a dud. Of course not. But I didn't think it was going to be this good. I mean, this match made me kind of wanted to see a rivalry actually going forward with these two, because they had pretty decent chemistry, and I believe once that chemistry get better and they kind of know what each other's going to do inside the ring, it's going to make for even better matches. So I think these two are actually capable of putting on a better match than they put on. Bianca Belair was able to retain her title against Bayley, but she did use the hair a little bit to hold Bayley down in that pin, which may give Bayley some leverage as to get a rematch with Bianca Belair. If this happened, as we've seen, the next pay-per-view coming up will be Hell in a Cell. So that means we could possibly get these two women in Hell in a Cell. If you remember Bayley and Sasha Banks last year in Hell in a Cell, if it wasn't for the Roman Reigns storyline with Jey Uso, that would have been my match of the night at the WWE Hell in a Cell last year. So if Bayley can go out there and pull off a match like she did with Sasha Banks with Bianca Belair in Hell in a Cell, if this feud continue, which I think it should, we are on for another match of the year, match of the night candidate. That's how good I think these two can be once their chemistry get right on track to where it needs to be at. After that, we've seen Bobby Lashley retain his title against Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman. Once again, Bobby Lashley retains his title, but of course he doesn't get to beat Drew McIntyre. Of course he doesn't get to beat him clean. So Braun Strowman had to take the pin. Now, I said this weeks ago, the only reason Braun Strowman is even in this match is to go out there and take the pin. Because for whatever reason, the WWE or the writers or whoever is in the back does not want to see Bobby Lashley get a clean win over Drew McIntyre. He hasn't done it yet. I mean, even when he won the title, MVP had to do some interference, which would have led to this rematch. But Braun Strowman had to jump in because they're not quite ready to take the title off of Bobby Lashley yet. But they also don't want Bobby Lashley to beat Drew McIntyre clean. What is going on? I see it. I see it. It's clear as day. So now we have a situation where Drew McIntyre actually has some legs to stand on as to, hey, you know what? You didn't beat me, Bobby. So we need to go ahead and have that one-on-one match in Hell in a Cell where no one can interfere, no one can get involved, right? Cool. There's no more Hurt Business. There's no other number one contenders. Braun just lost. Randy Orton is now in a tag team, and The Fiend is nowhere to be found. So that only leaves Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley once again. So this is either going to be where Bobby Lashley finally beat Drew McIntyre clean, or this is going to be where Drew McIntyre finally get the belt back, because everyone sees that they do not want Bobby Lashley to somehow get a clean victory over Drew McIntyre. So Bobby, enjoy your title reign while it's lasting, because I'm sure we're going to get Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley at Hell in a Cell, and I'm sure they're not going to allow Bobby Lashley to beat Drew McIntyre, not 3 times around. Now on to our main event. It was Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. This was the match of the night. No doubt about it. The best match on the pay-per-view. Roman Reigns is in God mode. I've said that before. He is the Thanos of SmackDown, of WWE. He is on a whole different level. Now, someone like Cesaro is someone who I wanted to see become a champion for a long time now. I think he deserves that, to be the guy. Granted, every time he seemed like he gets close, whether that be an injury or just no push, he always get knocked back down. But finally, he get a shot, his one-on-one shot for the Universal Championship against Roman Reigns. And it was a great match, but it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Going into the match, I didn't think Cesaro was going to be able to win. I told you that him standing tall 2 weeks in a row after SmackDown, his luck was going to run out, and it ran out. Surprisingly, Roman Reigns beat Cesaro clean, 1-on-1, by himself. No help, no Usos, no Steph, nobody. By himself, no Heyman. He beat him by himself. Now, this match was so great because once again, the storytelling inside of the match made me believe after that match that Cesaro can beat Roman Reigns, that one day he will become a Universal Champion or a WWE Champion. And why do you say that? During the match, a Superman punch wouldn't do it. Wouldn't take him out. He countered your spear. He countered it every step of the way. When you try to put him in a guillotine choke the first time, he powered out of it. He powered out of the guillotine choke the first time. The second time he got him into that guillotine choke, the last time he got him into it, Cesaro was also powering out again. He was pulling Roman Reigns' hand off, but remember, that was the same arm that Roman Reigns worked on the whole match. That whole match, and that was the deciding factor that, you know what, I just don't have enough power to do it anymore. He didn't tap out, he passed out. He exerted so much energy, he used his whole gas tank, and just for a brief moment, he slipped, Roman locked it in, and he passed out. Now, I say he looks so much more believable to win that Universal Championship after the match, because let's say Cesaro doesn't have that arm injury. Let's say he counters that. I think he powers out of that guillotine choke for a second time. That's the only reason I think Roman Reigns was able to really lock it in and cinch it in. And look at it. The second time he was at a guillotine choke, think about it, guys. Look how long he was in that choke before he even passed out. They are making Cesaro look really, really strong. Now, with it being like that, well, some type of interference, I would have thought, hey, Cesaro's going to get another shot. He's going to get another opportunity. We've seen Kevin Owens get opportunities. He's going to get another opportunity. But after the match, things just went crazy. Jey Uso came out and beat down Cesaro. Seth Rollins came out and beat down Cesaro. So, in my mind, the only thing I'm thinking is, hey, I seen no Jimmy Uso. We're going to somehow get Jimmy Uso and the Roman Reigns going forward here. I see a Seth Rollins. I see a Cesaro. I see a match between the two on SmackDown, and if Seth Rollins get over the hump, I think Seth Rollins' name now goes into that number one contendership for that Universal title. But hold on. Let's say at SmackDown, Seth Rollins doesn't beat Cesaro clean. Now I'm just foreshadowing. I don't even know if that match is taking place. But let's say Steph doesn't beat him clean. Hey, now we have a grounds for a possible fatal four-way with Jimmy Uso, Roman Reigns, Cesaro, and Seth Rollins. Or a possible triple threat with Seth Rollins and Cesaro and Roman Reigns, or however you really want to mix it up, however you want to dice it up. That number one contendership for that Universal Championship is getting real tight on SmackDown. I mean, SmackDown is just getting better and better and better. And I said it before, but they might be the A show, man. I think Raw might be the B show now. This might be the A show. You got the better wrestling, the better storytelling. You're getting, your top guys are doing top guy-ish. They're having top guy type matches. That's what you want to see, right? This might be your new A show. Cesaro has now solidified himself in my book, for sure, as a top guy, right? He just has to now get over the hump and defeat a champion. He has to defeat those guys and really get some gold around his waist. But they did a great job of making Cesaro look as strong as Cesaro can look. They did an even better job at proving why Roman Reigns is who he is. He didn't need any help. He went out there by himself and got the job done. Now imagine how much powerful he's going to be when he needs people to interfere and they actually interfere on his behalf. We've seen it before, but damn, he's damn near unstoppable if the Usos both fall in line. That's going to be crazy. Crazy. Only thing I could see happening is the New Day come back, but with Hell in a Cell now being in June, I believe, that kind of, ruins my plan, because I thought we was going to get to that maybe after the draft. but there's no way that would happen now. So that's fine. I'm going to just kick back, kick my feet up, and enjoy what's going on SmackDown. I mean, man, that's a good show from top to bottom. Top to bottom, that's a hell of a show. Overall, this pay-per-view was fire. Besides that one match, you take that one match out and replace that match with Sheamus and Ricochet and the kickoff. This pay-per-view is perfect. It's fine. No bad matches. But overall, I'm still saying it's fire overall. One little hiccup, one little match. I understand they were trying to use that match as a time to, get a shameless plug for a movie, which I'll probably watch anyway. I'm just saying. But can't be mad at them, man. It was a good pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think also. Now, on to some really good news. We are over the 100 subscriber mark. Thank you for everyone who followed. Now, I understand there was a lot of new followers after I made the post on Instagram showing exactly what you're going to win. It's a collectible Razor Ramon's t-shirt gift box, essentially. Now, what's inside this box, you can see on the WWE shop. It's a shirt, it's a chain, a mini Intercontinental. The box itself is awesome, like the design in it, and when you open it, it shows the original concept of what they wanted Razor Ramon to be when they thought of it. And then Scott Hall came and put his own little mix on Razor Ramon. So when I actually get the physical box, I'm going to do a video actually showing exactly what it is. I'm not going to open it though, but I'm going to show you exactly how the box look and everything. There's also going to be a gift card. I should have put that in there. I forgot to put that, but it's going to be a gift card. And I noticed I got a lot of new subscribers after I've dropped that post. Remember, if you subscribed, I can't see who you are. So you're going to have to, on any video you want, just tag your Instagram name so I make sure that your name goes into the hat and that you get counted. You want your name in the hat as many times as possible, because when I hit randomize, if you got 15, your name up there 15 times versus someone who has their name there one time, you have the better odds. So make sure you're following at the Wrestling Replay on Instagram. Make sure you're still subscribing, liking, and turning on your notifications, all that good stuff. But let me know what you guys think about the pay-per-view. Let me know what you guys think about Cesaro. Do you think he has finally hit that level where it's time for him to get a title? What do you guys think about Bianca Belair and Bayley? Do you think that match can be even better when they get better chemistry? I think so. And let me know what you think about my take on Asuka and how I think she could turn to the dark side with Alexa Bliss and The Fiend going forward. I think that's going to be amazing if she did that. I think that's going to revamp her career. The undefeated streak will start right back over. I personally like it, man. Bring back the mist and all that. I think that'd be fire. But let me know what you guys think, all right? Comment section down below. Don't forget to join that contest, either the giveaway. It's going to last for about 2 weeks. Make sure you're following at the Wrestling Replay on Instagram. Hit me in my DMs and let me know what you guys think, your comments, all that good stuff. It's CATO. I'm signing out. I'll see you guys for Monday Night Raw tomorrow. Peace.